you go? Where do you go to? I wanna know. How do you do it? That thing you do. Follow you blindly, I'll be your fool. Where do you go to? Where do you go? Where do you go to? I wanna know.
Hey everyone, hi. Welcome
What's
to
up?
All About the Joy. Cynthia's in the house, Rick Costa's in the house. How you doing? I did it the wrong way, so it's definitely going to be cut off because I think I'm supposed to do the stream first and then put I forget. It doesn't matter. The right way is for me and Cynthia to go on first and have our little conversation, and then Rick comes on, and then we're like, okay, because that's what's the way to do it. But Rick showed up like early, so whatever. How you guys doing?
Good.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
nothing to talk about since we got everything out in the green room. Just kidding.
Cynthia did.
Cynthia did. Cynthia was bent, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna go live now. Do you want to? No, how was your week at work, though? I mean, besides the incident that happened in your office, Cynthia,
It
was it
was a little
okay?
busy. Yeah, no, it's good. It's good.
Okay. So when I ask you, so this is going to be one of those moments where I'm going to be like, okay, let me explain an example. So I'm like, how was your week? And you guys go, good, good. Where do I go with that? And then you're both like, we don't want to interrupt you when you're talking. I talk because you people don't, baby. Like,
It was a shitty week. How about that one?
thank you.
Is
That is
that
so much
better?
better. And what made it a horrible week?
Oh,
No, it was
just
actually a good week, right? It was a good
it
week. You
was.
had an incident that you can't really talk about it. You already vented about it. But I mean, I think, just to recap, I think being safe in offices, like in your workspace, I think I kind of talked a little bit about what happened to me. And I don't mind
Mhm.
sharing it now. Whatever I got, we called it a bouquet of flowers at the office. And they were for me and they were from an anonymous person in the community. And it freaked me out because we couldn't figure out who they were from. And I guess back in the day, that would be a lovely, kind gesture. That would be something, back in our parents' time where you'd be like, oh my God, somebody in the
I have
neighborhood.
a secret
Oh
admirer.
my God, it's really cool. And the reason why it's confusing is because they don't know my name, but they know the car I get out of. And they had a lot of
Mhm.
details about where I park and where I stop. And so it's a little weird, creepy. And yeah,
A little
so
stalkerish.
little stalkerish, and yet, you know, one of the problems with it is that even if it was a kind, sweet gesture, it freaks you out because if they had signed their name, this wouldn't have been a big deal. Probably, if they were
Yeah.
like, "Oh, we work across the street," we look at me. I'm like, I have so many of them. There are so many people in love with me now. Like, I'm laughing about it now, but it's been a very stressful thing for like the past 2 weeks to the point that I had to go to the
Yeah.
police department, you know? So
Especially now with everything going on, like you don't know who you can trust.
I don't trust no, you know what? Don't matter even what time. I don't trust nobody. Nobody. But yeah, but you're right. It's hey
Hey,
Melanie,
man.
how are
I
you?
know.
But yeah, so I think being safe at work, like one of the things I'm not doing anymore is like I don't go into that office unless I know there's going to be some like I was going in at like 7,
Mhm.
7:30 in the morning, and it's a big, huge warehouse, right? It's post-production house. And I'd be there by myself. And this is like 5,000 square feet just in one area, And it's also a
Right.
really sketchy neighborhood. Like you wouldn't know it's a warehouse, or you wouldn't know, like from the front of the place, it looks like an abandoned building. And it's
Mm.
like I'll give you guys an example. Like one time I was with Edgar, he's one of the guys that works in the office, and we're standing talking in one part of the building, and it's where the front is, and we're watching this guy, and he's like peeing in the corner of the door because it looks like an abandoned building. And Edgar's like, yo, what are you doing? What are you doing? It was so, I was like, he thinks, why are you yelling at him? He thinks it's an abandoned, he's like, that's just wrong. And I was like, I know, but it's not like he's
Maybe they
doing
should
anything.
paint a mural or something in the front so it doesn't look
It's,
abandoned.
look at, it's not my place. Okay. I'm a consultant. Okay. It's not even that. I mean, but it's one of those things where it's also sketchy neighborhood. So
Yeah.
going back to the safety in an office, I mean, I think
Yeah.
whether or not whatever this person was thinking and being kind or whatever, it freaked me out. It freaked out a lot of people. And so being safe at work matters. And what can you do? I can't prevent people from being whatever. I'm not going to say they're crazy or whatever, but whatever, being kind, but just being themselves, not realizing that they're putting the fear of God in them,
Right, yeah.
So
So I'd say like anytime anyone's working in an office by themselves, always make sure you lock the doors of, any place where you can come in and out. Make sure those doors are locked if you're working by yourself. Make sure your valuables are locked up if you have to leave from your desk, for any reason. And never be scared to like have maybe mace at your desk or something to protect yourself, just in case. I mean, hey, you
I'm
never
sorry,
know.
Bobby. No, you should. You should do whatever you need to do. But I also don't want to live in fear, which is why I went
Right.
to the police department because I was like, okay, because the mistake I made was I told everyone, and then everyone at work was like, I think your car is tagged. I think you better check it. And like the guys were under the car. I'm like, what is happening now? Like, and then the
Hey, at least
police
they
were like,
care. At least they care for your safety.
no, I know. But then everyone's like, you have to be careful because they must know you from this part of the stop signs and it was just like, okay, now I'm like driving and I'm like, who's watching me? Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? So yeah.
Driving home, looking through your car rearview mirror, like, are they following me?
And
I always feel like somebody's watching me.
so safety first, always important. I don't walk around with
Absolutely.
mace and stuff, but that don't mean I ain't got a little pistol, a little cute one. Don't mean I don't. Don't be messing with me. I grew up in the hood, baby. Go ahead, Rick. How was your week?
It was not too bad. Not too bad. My boss's birthday apparently was today. And so he says, everybody gets to go home a half an hour early. I was like, yay.
Half an hour early.
Okay.
You're like, I'm already
Ooh.
home.
But a
Yeah.
half an
Exactly.
hour early. What is
Yeah.
that?
Right.
Okay. Thanks.
People
That was
are
interesting.
weird.
I know. But no, it wasn't too busy. It was not too bad. Interesting week with mom, but we ain't gonna get into that. But yeah,
Okay.
other than that, yeah, it's been not too bad. Not too bad. Shalom, Matt Martins. That's one of my people. What's up?
Hi, Matt. How are
Hi.
you? Oh,
He's
from
from Canada.
Canada. How are you?
Canada.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, Canada.
so here's my question. Rick, last night when we had our Cynthia and I got into a fight. Like, I'm surprised we talking right now. I think we're doing very good. Like, Cynthia, we interviewed Albert, who's gonna be. You're gonna see it on Sunday, 12 o'clock Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. Great conversation with a talent agent. And Cynthia got a little nasty, people. So look at you laughing and being cute now, but what you did was wrong. I want you to apologize because you're not gonna apologize. I
Mm.
know. You know what's so funny is I saw a really good clip of me and Rick, and I was like, "Oh, I do it too," because I did it to Rick, and I was like, "I'm not gonna post that clip." It's like an old one. It came up on my Facebook page. I'm like, "Yeah, okay, we'll just let that go." But Rick said he wanted to talk about what did you want to talk
His
about,
favorite
Bobby?
show?
Oh, he said he saw a TikTok and he wanted to chime in on Bobby Nash dying on 9/11. Go ahead, give it your best shot.
So Peter Krause, is that how you say his name?
Yes.
Hmm.
So I know what he looks like, but I'm like, why does he look so familiar? Why does he look so familiar? And then I put it together. There was a show me and my son used to watch when he was little called The Lost Room, and he was the main character in that show, where there was these like mystical objects that everyone did a different thing. And the one he used mostly was this key. You put the key in any door and imagine where you want to go, and it opens up to that place. I'm like, yo, that would be so cool. You could go anywhere in the world. So he was the leader of
Oh,
that show. I was like, that's where I know him from. But
when
then,
was
of
that
course,
show? When was that?
my son was little, so it was a long time ago.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen every show by Peter Krause,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. So
um,
anyway, so on that journey, then of
okay.
course comes across the death scene. Angela and him are talking. I ain't got no stake in the game. I don't watch the show. I'm not
Wait.
invested
What
in
do you
the
mean
show.
Angela and him are talking on a talk show, or like what are we
No,
talking
No,
about?
on
no,
the show, the
show.
episode.
The show,
Oh,
the
so
clip,
Athena
the
and
clip.
Bobby. Okay, I'm
I
sorry.
don't know that. See, that's how much I don't
I'm
know.
trying to be clear. Are you watching an interview or are you
No, the
okay?
show
You're
He's
watching the
watching the clip
actual
of the
moment
show.
when he
of
dies.
the
Go
of
ahead.
the scene when they're talking, and I'm
Through the
sitting there
glass.
watching it, and
Through the glass.
He's
Is
the
got
he
the
boat
in a
scene,
hazmat
suit?
no,
suit.
Is
he's
he in
got
a
a suit
hazmat?
on, and she's
Yeah.
like, no, there's got to be something we could do, and he's like,
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
glass. There's glass there. She
okay,
can't.
yeah.
Right. He's
So anyway,
contaminated. Go ahead.
again, not invested in the show. I don't even know their names, as I just demonstrated. Why that thing got me crying? I don't even know these people. I'm sitting there crying. No, don't die. Like, I don't even know who you are.
You're
See?
gonna start watching
See?
all the seasons. He's in. He's in.
Yes.
Well, how
Wait,
about
Watch
that?
all the seasons.
you know why though? Because he goes and he kneels because
Mm,
he's Catholic and he's very
Yeah.
religious, and everything for him is about like he has guilt about like I don't want to ruin it for you because I know you're gonna watch all of it now. But he thinks his whole character arc is amazing because we meet him after he supposedly is drunk and kills his children and his wife and all these people in this building, but it wasn't his fault. He just was
yeah.
drunk and couldn't get the fire out. But he wouldn't have been able to get the fire out anyway because it was about the wiring in the building. But for him,
Mm.
he lives with that guilt, and so he visits the church all the time, and he's in AA.
Hey,
You know what I
Mario.
mean?
Hey,
And
Mario.
hey Mario, how you doing? And so it's so good. So when he dies, the thing that killed me, where I started crying, is he knelt and in prayer and that say, oh, okay. So you loved it, Rick, right? You were
I mean,
crying.
it made me very emotional. The acting was incredible. Like, I was
Yes.
all in.
Yes.
I was like, I believe these two people are really for real right now, and it got me crying.
I am so
See, now
happy.
you have to watch the whole thing.
I'm so happy now. Okay, what, did you say you're not going to watch it all? You have
So we shall see. We shall see.
you got to watch. I'm just saying. I think you
A
would
lot
enjoy
of
it. Okay, wait.
seasons. A lot of seasons to get to somebody dying at the end. Great.
I know. See that Tim Minear, the dumbass producer or executive producer, what the hell he is, creator, whatever, blah blah blah. Tim Minear is the one who messed it up. I've tried to watch the shows from the beginning, I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna watch when he asked her to marry her. Remember when he did that? That's so cute.
Mhm.
Oh my god, he did it so good because she says, okay, Athena says to him. She says something to the effect of, you know what, you could just move in. I'm sick and tired of you leaving and coming back. And I mean, it's like you're here all the time, anyways. And he
Mhm.
gets really like that's not
Taken
possible.
back, like.
Yeah, he's taken back by, and you think like, oh my god, he don't want to marry her. He crazy. But you realize like his children, his wife, they died, and he's just coming into his own, and he's figured out. And then you go through the whole show, and then is it at the end of the show, or is it the next episode? I think it's during the same episode, but out of nowhere, he comes and he gives her a ring, and she
Yeah, it's the
cannot
same.
believe it. And he's like, I love you, and I want to make this real. And it was a good episode. I love it. Yeah. But I was like, yeah, but he dies, so it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It ruins it.
That's
Right?
why, yeah, that's why I said watching all the reruns now, it's like it's so crazy because it's like he's dead. Now to watch all these reruns, it's like, oh.
Okay, how did you feel about the other firemen and people? Did you guys see that flash or not? It's just on my screen. It's okay.
Flash.
I'm not going to get in touch with Restream right now. There was just a thing. How did you feel about the other firemen people? I know you don't know who they all are, their names, but did you see when Buck like cries in the hallway and he's like on the ground in that pain? I was like, oh my God.
That's what got me.
That got me out. Did you see that part, Rick?
No, the only other part I saw was Athena, right? That's her name.
Angela
Yelled at
Bassett.
the Asian guy because he did something and took it upon himself to schedule something or whatever. And she was like, "Why'd you do that? Who do you think you are?" Da, 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 da. And he's like, "Well, I'm sorry." Da, da, da.
Oh
And
no, that's the next scene. So that's the next episode. Okay, so that's Chimney. His name is Chimney, and he's So the problem there is he was in the same building and in that same room with Bobby, along with Hen. And is that it? Was there somebody else? It was just Hen, Chimney, and Bobby in the room.
Oh, and the rookie kid,
Oh yeah,
Ro-
Rav,
Ro-
Rav,
Robbie.
Ravi, right.
Yes.
So they're all in the room, and there's only one antidote, and Athena and them are trying to get the one shot, the one antidote. And during that whole time, the only person that's been infected is Chimney. Chimney is infected, and if we don't get the antidote to him, he's going to die. We don't
Because
know
it's hitting him
anything.
really fast.
Yeah, and it's hit, and he's really like he's about to die. So we don't know anything about Bobby. Bobby Nash still he's doing all his work. He's trying to help everybody. He's doing what he always
Hmm.
does, and everything's great. They get the shot and the whatever, and they give it to Chimney right away, and Chimney starts to feel better, but they're still stuck in the room and everything. And then little by little, they're evacuating them out. And oh my God, I can't believe I'm reliving this. And then all of a sudden, as they're all about to walk out, Bobby Nash slams the door and leaves Buck on the outside. And Buck's like, "What are you doing? Come out." He's like, "No." And he takes off his mask and there's
He's
blood.
bleeding.
And he had been like, he knew
He
he
was
was going to die.
infected.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he
was
was
infected.
infected at the same time.
I'm too upset now. He was infected the whole time, but because he's the captain and he knew there was only one antidote, he didn't say anything.
And he was trying to fight it so that he wouldn't show any symptoms and just trying to get Chimney better.
Yeah, because
But
Chimney
everybody probably would have wanted it for him. You think?
would Chimney have wanted it for him?
Whatever. I mean, if
Probably.
they had to pick, well, we got to pick one or the other.
So here's
They would have
here's
saved.
where we have a problem with the show.
Boss.
Here's what we have a problem with the show. Okay, like,
Hey, Sean.
hi,
Oh,
Sean Ellis
aloha.
from Hawaii, right? We say, welcome. So here's the problem with the show. The thing about Bobby Nash's character is he always finds a way. There's always a third option. There's never just one or two, like right or left. No, there's always a third option. But in this case, somehow, our character, our favorite person on the planet, all of a sudden was like, nah, there's no other option. I just have to die. That's the only option. So that's part of the frustration because people who watch the show know that Bobby Nash would never just give in like that. I mean, I don't know how you feel about it, Cynthia, but that was part of the
No, I agree. Because he was definitely a fighter. He was like, we're all going to get through this. Always.
in
He was
everything.
always, yep, in everything.
Right.
And this one, it was just kind of like he had to give up.
Yeah. It was
like,
there are just too many issues with why that went wrong. By the way, everyone in that room has died at least once or twice and come back to life. Like
had a barb go through the head, car crashes.
Yeah.
They've been unconscious because of injections, like almost on death's door.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. But Bobby is the one that died.
It's all weird. Like it didn't make any sense that they actually
throats have been slashed. Like they all survived that.
And here's the thing: they survive and come back better than before.
Yes, yes.
I'm like, I had a planned surgery, and I'm still milking it 3 years later. But Chimney had a thing through his head, like through it,
a metal
rebar.
The whole
That's why
head.
he has that little scar. He has a little scar here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He was awake and didn't even feel it or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was crazy.
And he lived, and it was just so weird.
I guess their favorite song is "What Doesn't Kill You Make You Stronger."
I guess. Yeah, that is so funny. Well, I'm glad you saw it. So you watched the last episode too. You watched the funeral.
Me? It was literally just a clip.
No.
Oh, he watched 2 clips then. Okay, because that's 2 different episodes. Okay, right. So Athena is having issues with Chimney, not because Chimney did anything wrong, but because he lived. And Bobby's not there, so he's a reminder. But it's fine because at the wrap up of the last episode, they're fine. They hug each other, blah blah.
That was another thing. They always make up.
Yeah, they always make up. I'm like, Bobby's still dead, so the show still sucks. I don't care. It's not making me feel any better. So yeah, that's so funny. Oh my God. Okay. Well, what else? Cynthia went and saw Sinners. Go ahead, give
I
your review.
did.
Finally.
I did.
Wait, for those who are new to the show, I do not watch horror ever. But I saw it before everybody
But she
else.
saw it.
I saw it before everybody else. So go ahead, give your review.
Okay, so yes, it was a horror movie. To me, was it scary? No, because I love horror movies. The acting, amazing. The songs in there, amazing. That young man's voice, oh my God, voice of an angel.
Agreed.
Oh my God, amazing. I will never look at what is it, the river dance or the Irish jig.
Saying that, and I said to you, step dancing. She kept Irish step dancing.
Sorry,
she kept calling it the river dance. I'm like this.
Sorry, I'm not Irish.
I know, but you're being a little like you don't want to do that, right? You want to be like.
My ex actually did see Riverdance, the actual
show. It's a show.
Okay, the Irish step dance.
Yes.
I will never look at that the same again.
Okay, good.
But I mean, you definitely knew when the scary parts were coming. Spoiler alert, whoever hasn't seen it yet, it is about vampires. But you didn't know when it was coming. You knew what was gonna kind of happen. I already knew who was gonna be the bad brother, because they had wore specific colors. Mm-hmm. One had red, one had blue, so you kind of already had an idea. And
was he bad though? Was he bad?
He wasn't bad, but he was turned, into a vampire.
Tomato, but go ahead.
But I think honestly, I think for me, a downfall for me loving horror movies is that one, I'm not usually scared, and two, I kind of already know what's going to happen because they all kind of have that same little what you call it, like just the same kind of way that they do things.
Well, I mean, at some point, look, even I knew what was going to happen. And I don't watch horror films, but at some point, every story is pretty much structured. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's okay if there were parts of it you didn't like. I'm not trying to take that away from you.
No, I loved it. I absolutely loved the movie.
I just think that's part of storytelling.
Yeah.
And if you are any kind of student of any kind of film, of any kind of genre, you can kind of see that coming. Whereas I would think of other people, like, let's say Teresa went and saw it. That would not be, she wouldn't be like, oh, that's so obvious.
Yeah, she wouldn't like it.
No. But that's what I'm kind of saying is like, some people wouldn't pick up on those cues. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think you're an habit.
Not every movie is going to be The Sixth Sense, where you get to the end, you're like,
oh, yeah. Right, true, yeah.
And every time you see that now, you're like, oh, they took that from The Sixth Sense. You know what I mean? And he took that from Alfred Hitchcock. But whatever, tomato. So
yeah, exactly. Overall, the movie was absolutely amazing. And for anyone who hasn't seen it yet, there is a mid-credit scene and an end-credit scene. So stay till the lights come on. Watch the whole thing.
I love you, but I think everyone else in the world has seen it except you. I'm just kidding.
You never know.
She's doing her best to just help you people out who have not seen it yet. Yeah, no, I'm just kidding.
One thing that was interesting was, and this was a new twist they did with vampires, and I was like, ew, like they started to drool. And I'm like,
oh yeah.
That's when you knew you were in trouble. When you saw that,
Okay, I didn't see that part because I was watching like this. So people know I didn't even see that. And I could feel when they were coming, and I was like, but I could hear it. Which sometimes is kind of bad too. So that is so good. Oh my goodness. I'm impressed. You guys have any plans for the long weekend?
Rest, and I have a birthday party to go to on Sunday.
Whose birthday party? Do I know?
No, it's my nephew on my dad's side.
No, nobody I know. Rick, any big plans?
I'm gonna chill, rest, chill. Probably do some laundry. Nothing exciting.
Oh my God, you guys are so exciting! Oh my God, calm it down. Stop.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the club while my mother falls down at home.
Yeah. Hey, didn't you guys have a great?
I can't do anything exciting. I can't.
Okay, but you know what? You could have excitement in your life, honey. What do you think I go out every day? Like, do you think I'm partying every day, every night? I'm
No, but you
not.
get to leave your house every day, though, at least.
We can bring the party to you, Rick.
Yeah, we're bringing the party to you right now, dude. Here we
That's
are.
exactly right. That's why I'm
This is
here.
what it is. Okay, I thank you for asking. I don't have any big plans either this weekend. I
Give
appreciate
us a
it.
chance, my God.
I know, right?
You know what? Too much dead space. All right. Anyways, okay,
Whatever.
What are
whatever.
you doing this weekend, Carmen?
I'm actually. Did you guys notice I got my hair done again?
Oh,
hmm
no.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, I'm just kidding. All right. Okay. Would you rather? I did get my hair done. I did. But you know what? I had it done yesterday. And our interview yesterday was really fun, wasn't it? It was
It
fun.
Mhm.
was.
I
It was really
haven't
fun.
edited it yet, so I'm going to edit that tonight. But yeah, we're going to have him back if he wants to come back. And we've gotten 3 more people who emailed me today if they want to be on the show. One guy, yeah, okay, I won't talk about it because I don't know enough. But one guy I'm really interested in, even though I don't know anything about the subject. What is it when kids have okay, I'm going to say something bad, so I don't want to. Hold on one second. Talk amongst yourselves. Let me look up the email. No, because I don't want to say it wrong. I don't want to say the wrong thing and then accidentally offend people. Okay, let me just
Mm.
tell you what it is.
If I'm not
Um,
mistaken, I think Albert even said, like, this is the most fun I've had in a podcast. I was like, yes.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, he did say that.
autism spectrum disorder.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So that might be an interesting. I don't know anything about it, but that might be an interesting conversation to have with
So many
someone.
people
So
that deal with
I'm
that. Yeah.
sorry.
So many people have kids and deal with
Yeah.
that. So I think it's an important thing to talk about, actually. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Really? So you guys would be interested in okay, I thought that would be
Yeah.
probably one of the more interesting ones, but I'll reach out to them after the weekend because they sent me a long email and I was like, oh, yeah. And then I went and saw a couple of the videos that he was on and I was like, oh, he seems interesting. You know what I mean? So, okay, good. Yeah. I
Oh.
didn't know if that would be too heavy of a topic, but
No, I think a lot of people need to learn about that. Absolutely.
yeah. And then we're going to have your person come on. What is her name? Doctor. You saw the email I sent today, right?
Yeah, yeah. Rosanna
Dr.
Means.
Means? Yeah. Is it Dr. Means?
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully she'll be available in July and we'll be able to interview her. And I'm kind of excited about that, even though it's kind of a sad topic. It's a great topic because more people should be doing it. So we're going to be talking about homelessness and the work that she does to help. Well, I don't know because I really want to talk about why she got into it, but
hmm
that's really what she does. I mean, that's part of what she does. So,
It's
but
healthcare for
yeah,
homeless.
homeless people, which is just amazing, and pregnant women, pregnant
Yeah.
homeless women specifically, and she has an
hmm
organization. So I hope she'll want to come on too. So I'm excited for that. So thank you for that connection. Yeah, ooh, we're all about that joy. We're just bringing it out, you know what I mean? All of it, all of it. So on Sunday it'll be about Hollywood and talent agents, and then we're going to shift it to medical stuffage. I think it's kind of cool. You know what I mean? Okay.
Speaking of some medical stuff, so I finished that season of Odyssey.
Wait,
I
you're
know you.
going
I
in
don't.
and out. I don't know. Can
Oh,
you hear her, Rick? I can't hear her.
you
I
hear
hear
me?
that the video is kind of choppy.
Yeah.
Uh oh.
Okay. Your video's going in and out, but okay, now try again. Your video's fine
Okay.
now. Start over. Yep.
Oh, as it's talking about medical stuff, I finished the show Odyssey. I know you didn't like it.
What
I
is
know
this?
you
The
didn't like.
Don Johnson show?
Yes,
So you watched
and
it from the first
I
season
watched
to
the whole season.
oh, it's only
There's
one
a-
season?
It just has one season, 18 episodes. So I watched the whole thing. At the end of it, I was not impressed with it at all. At the beginning, I was like, okay, it's a little different. But as it got more into it, I was like,
Okay,
yeah, I
Cynthia,
don't.
you 18 I saw half an episode. I was like, you know what? I love you, Don Johnson, but hell to the no. I'm not watching this.
That's like
I'm
I
me with
watched the whole thing.
that's like me with the show I just watched, Russian Doll. The first half of the show was great, and then they twisted it to something kind of different. I was like, oh, you know what? This kind of sucks now. I was
I don't
disappointed.
Mm.
think the first half of Odyssey was good. Okay, I'm sorry. You liked okay, I'm being mean. I'm being mean. You liked it.
The first couple episodes was okay. It was entertaining, but then they started getting into the whole like that threesome between the doctor and the two nurses, and
Stop.
a male nurse and a female nurse. I was just like,
Stupid.
all right, we're done with this. Yeah.
The only episode I watched from beginning to end, was when Athena showed up, which is, Rick, you're probably like, what? Okay, when you're watching 911, when you get to this episode, there's an episode where she goes on holiday with her husband. They go on a cruise ship, and it, tips over, whatever. They almost die, but they don't. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. It's like, it's a dramatic thing, but they are saved and it's fine. And then for some reason, the following week or like 2 weeks later, she's on the Odyssey ship with the doctors. And I watched that and I was like, I don't understand what's happening. Like, why is she? But yeah, so she solves a crime on that boat too.
You bring up an interesting topic. On a lot of shows, the main characters, no matter how death-defying a thing they're going to get into, they're going to survive because they're the main characters. Most of the
time. Until you see
911. Some shows, like, again, this isn't a horror show that Carmen ain't going to like, but I'm sure Cynthia likes, The Walking Dead. Except for like the real top ones, nobody's safe. They will kill you off and twice.
They kill them all off.
Right, but the show's called Walking Dead, right? So,
well, it's about the people. Those are already dead. We're talking about the show is called The Walking Dead, but it's really about the Walking Living.
I didn't watch that show. It's not my
thing.
It's true.
And there's so many spin-offs,
right? So you kind of knew that from the beginning. Look, I am not against people killing off main characters if it works. Seriously, we would all been like, oh man, this just didn't make sense and it didn't work. And here's the thing, I would have still been okay with it if the actor himself was like, you know what, I'm just done doing this show. And then they decided to kill him off. And even if they
didn't want to leave.
He didn't want to leave. He had just done an interview saying, I want to do 100 more episodes. I can't wait. We were like, so there's just, to me, this is a bad choice on too many levels. It's not just that I'm heartbroken, because we've all watched shows where somebody's died. Look, I said it before on 6 Feet Under. Is that the name of the show he was on? He was killed off on that show, but he knew he was going to be killed off on that show.
The show is called 6 Feet Under.
Well, I mean, but Nate's character, look, they own the funeral home. But I mean, he knew he was, like, when he first took on the show, it's like he knew as an actor. And so that kind of helped a little bit when you watch the show. It made you feel like, oh, okay. All right. Okay. But this was just random. I don't get it. I think he did it. I don't know why he did it. Go ahead, Rick. I saw you.
No, I said, dead air. But yeah, most of the time, your favorite characters are going to survive. They're going to be fine. Most shows.
I don't know.
Deflates. It kind of deflates the excitement to try to get you to, and the anxiousness, because you're like, oh my god, yeah, but they're gonna survive. They're gonna survive.
Okay, but I'm gonna talk about it this way because I disagree with that. There are shows that I call them bubblegum TV. That's my term. I came up with it. Somebody else is going to try to claim it. I've been saying this for a long time. It's the difference between Star Trek and Star Wars, or better yet, the difference between Star Trek and BSG, right? Battlestar Galactica. Bubblegum TV shows to me are shows that are just fun and comfort shows, and are like, when you start the show, you're going to be in this spot, but when you end, everything's going to be fine and clean and perfect and okay. That's Star Trek. If you kill off Riker or you kill off Picard, we're going to have an issue because that's not what I come to that show to see. But if I'm watching Battlestar Galactica or Star Wars, that's a different ball game. It's possible anybody could die in them shows, and we're going to have to deal with it. So that's where I disagree a bit. I think there were shows that people go and watch for the sheer comfort of it. And I'm just going to, and I don't mean this as a diss because I watch them too. Hallmark shows are the perfect example. People get so many high ratings for shows that I have to tell you are written so badly, right? But we watch them for comfort. I would be surprised if there was some weird, I don't know, Emmy award-winning acting happening. I'd be like, what is happening? That's not to diss those actors. I know a couple of them, so I'm not trying to be mean. But you know what I mean? It's not hard-hitting stuff when you're watching Hallmark,
Yeah. That's like every night. Like I watch either Friends or Everybody Loves Raymond because it's just comforting for me. You know, it's like something funny and just lighthearted. And sometimes I feel like it's my family when I watch Everybody Loves Raymond. So
You talking about me? You talking about me? You talking about me?
Comedy is a little bit different because you hope they're not gonna kill off, although don't put Tim Minear in charge of a fucking comedy but dramatic shows like I can list a whole bunch of them. Like, what's the show with the woman Murder She Wrote? Like people watch that show, they don't want to see Angela Lansbury killed off. You know what I mean? Like,
right,
like that would be weird. You know,
right.
and even something like Law and Order, you know, I mean, Law and Order is a heavy, dramatic show, but you don't want to see Ice Cube die. Is it Ice Cube who's the lead in that? He's one of the leads in the show.
Ice-T.
Ice-T, right? Ice-T,
Oh, I thought
right?
it was-
No, it's Ice-T. It's not Ice Cube. Ice Cube is the rapper. I mean, Ice-T is a rapper too, but it's Ice-T. Right. Whatever the fuck. It's lemonade at this point.
Ice-T was on The Nanny. I remember he was on The Nanny.
Ice-T was on The Nanny?
They needed somebody that rapped, and somebody said, "Oh, I know a rapper," and they got confused. The old guy thought rapper meant a gift rapper. They were like, "No, a rapper, singer rapper." So this guy came, and she transformed dorky Ice-T into an actual rapper. It was funny.
Okay,
I
dude,
don't remember that.
okay, I want to say a few things right now. Like the fact I'm like the nanny who's in that show. like
Fran Drescher, right?
I know, and the only reason why I know is because she is the president of SAG-AFTRA right now. She runs SAG-AFTRA. But I'm like, the nanny is a very specific show. Like you had to have watched that show to know that show, right? It's
Yeah,
not
I
like
used to watch it.
But you know, I think I watched it a couple times, but it wasn't my show. You know what I mean? But that was fantastic, Rick. And
Anything
I remember
that
the episode 47, and it was the fall.
any show that will grab my mom's attention, and that's one of them. That's one of them.
Oh, you mean it's on now?
It's reruns, yeah, all the time.
Oh, I thought you were like from back in the day. Okay, that makes more sense. I thought you were talking about.
I can remember it from that. The only
I
show I
didn't
can
even
do
know
that
there
with,
was reruns.
the only show I'm pretty good with that would be Martin. Like stuff in there's burned in my brain. That show.
No, I'm just cracking up. Like I thought, you know what I mean? Like now that makes more sense. I didn't even know that show was in syndication. I had no idea. Okay, that makes more sense. I was like, my Lord. He just got right in there. That was odd. Yeah. So that's kind of what I'm saying. Dramatic shows that are, that are heavy. You don't really want to kill Law and Order though. If they killed off Ice-T, that would suck. And they have killed off some major people on that show. But it's a heavy show. It's not bubblegum TV. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's kind of my thing. Besides the fact that I love that man, Peter Krause, and I think he's a great actor, and he just seems like a nice guy. Like he just seems like a really cool, regular man. But yeah.
And regular reality, completely 100% reality based shows, you usually know if somebody dies, they die because this is reality. But if
what do you mean
little
reality?
Like a 911 show is not based on magic or powers or zombies or nothing like that. It's totally based on we're trying to make this
real
as real
life.
as possible. Yeah, real life possibly situations, even if it is crazy as heck. But then you got shows with a little bit of a mystical-ish, say, like Stargate, where Daniel Jackson died how many times? Like,
oh my God.
came back again.
And that got annoying, if only because the actor was like, I want to get off the show. Everyone was like, oh, we're sad, we're bummed. And he's like, I want to come back on the show. It was like, okay, now you're getting on my nerves, dude. Like in or out.
Being like Tom Brady, like with the Patriots.
Yeah.
Oh, I may or may not retire.
Whatever. We hate him. Don't we hate him now? Do we hate him as Bostonians?
I never liked him anyways.
I liked him. And here's the funny part. I used to work across the street from his agent's house. So one of my clients lives across the street, one of my old clients. And the agent's house was in the same place as my clients here. It was Like lots of money is what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? Like, and I'd always be like, damn, I'm in the wrong business. I should have been the agent. I should have been a motherfucking agent. Some serious money for sports figures, you know? All right. I have some would you rather questions. Ready? Oh, did you
Ooh,
guys have anything else you want to say about 911?
I have something else, a story about work. I just remembered. I can't believe I forgot it.
Oh,
So a
40
guy,
minutes in. Okay.
yeah, this
Go
guy
ahead.
called. Well, no, he ordered some stuff, and then he made two separate orders for some reason. And then one of the things I called him and I said, "Oh, unfortunately, what we have, it's like a big strap, but it wasn't in one piece." I was like, "Do you still want it? Could you use it?" And he goes, "Well, actually, it's not." It was like EKG stuff. It's not for real. It's for a movie we're making in Quebec, Canada. I was like, "Oh,
Oh,
really?" So
oh,
then,
cool.
yeah,
Huh.
he was trying to make a 1950s EKG because that's going to be part of the movie. So, and we happen to have stuff that was old enough that looked like he could use it. I was like, "Oh, cool." And then
That's cool.
they're joking at work. "Are we going to get credits in the movie?" I was like, "Yeah, hold your breath
No,
on that one."
probably not. Like, unless you're gifting it to them, like, then you would get a
Right.
credit to, but I don't think your boss wants to gift it to them, right?
I
Is
don't
it
think so.
really expensive?
No, it wasn't that bad at all. Expensive to get there, second day air, but no, it wasn't expensive. What do you want?
Yeah, not a credit this time, but maybe next time. Like, depends. Yeah, usually you get credits if I mean, I guess I don't know. It depends. It depends on what it is, you know.
I can see if you donated, they might want to do credit just to be
Well,
nice.
that's what I mean by gift it, you
Yeah.
know, they would give a thanks. Like I gifted a portrait of myself to a director and it's on my IMDb because they wanted to use it on a wall in an office. And so it says thanks in the movie to me, you know what I mean? Because I
Mhm.
didn't charge them for it or anything like that. Be like
Um,
$1,000. Yeah, no. So they gave me a shout out in the thank you part, you know what I mean? So,
Listen, when
um,
All About the Joy blows up, I better not see it on eBay. Okay, I'll be selling that thing.
see what on eBay? But that
Picture.
picture?
That portrait.
Oh god. Yeah, all right. Yeah. You know what? Maybe there's a reason why I'm a little creeped out by flowers. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that's the life I want at all. It's so funny because when things are happening to my clients, I'm all like, listen, this is how it goes, right? I mean, you're famous, people know you, people, like one of my clients gets upset because they keep wanting to go to the grocery store by themselves to go grocery shopping. And every time they go, they have the hat on and the glasses, everybody recognizes them. And then they're like, I just don't know why I can't go to the grocery store by myself. I'm like, okay, because you're famous. So then we'll let them go into the grocery store, but we'll send like one of the I don't want to say bodyguards, it's not a bodyguard, but we'll send somebody, you know what I mean? And then they get annoyed because what he'll do is he'll be like pushing people away, you know what I mean? It's not the real experience. Oh my God, get a fucking life. Do you know what I mean? Like, what is wrong with you? So it's just a really interesting thing. Like you can't complain about one thing and then not realize there are consequences to everything, right? There's,
Mm.
but
Some
yeah.
faces are so famous it doesn't matter how big your sunglasses are, they will still see.
You know what? Here's the thing though. And this has just been in my experience. I think I told you guys that I have met certain people grocery shopping, like, and I don't mind saying it because they're not my clients. I've seen Callista Flockhart and Harrison Ford shopping at Whole Foods. I've seen a lot of people. Tom Brokaw. I don't know if you people know who that is, but Tom Brokaw,
Mhm.
Michelle Pfeiffer and her husband, David Kelly. I've seen Tony DeVito, and these are like at restaurants, whatever. And you know what the difference is? These people don't try to hide anything. They don't wear the sun. They just walk
Right.
like normal people, and people respect it and leave them alone, even if they notice them.
Mm.
That's the difference. But if you're walking around with glasses and like
Right.
you know I told you guys the story once when I first came out here. I had shaved off all my hair was really really short, and I went to the movie theater by myself. I used to go all the time, like matinee or whatever, and I was leaving the matinee and it was like now 4 o'clock or something, and this was in Century City, And as I was leaving, I put on my sunglasses and, I was just leaving and I could hear these people, oh my God, that's Halle Berry. I know it or whatever. And I was like my first thought was to tell them, yeah, no. And then the other part was like, well, let them dream it. Like, let them have a little. And I pretended I didn't hear anything, but I just rushed on off. And I remember thinking about that, like, it's because I put on sunglasses and like I had on a hat or something, you know what I mean? So they thought,
That's funny.
So it's worse for them if they're trying to hide it, is what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say like for the bigger celebrities, it's kind of hard. There are people, I think Tom Cruise just talked about this the other day. Like he was on, it's a really cute story. Oh, I wish I had the video because I could just play it right now. It's really cute. But he talks about how he was on the train in New York. I think it was a New York subway. And he had on his glasses and he had on his hat or whatever. And he was just sitting there, in the subway. Nobody was bothering, whatever. But there was this one girl across the way who kept looking at him. And she kept looking at other people to see if they knew, like, it was him. This is Tom Cruise. And he could tell she just wasn't going to let up. So he went like this. He went. And she turned around and got her phone and went. It's a really cute, it's an interview he just recently did because he's doing Mission.
With just him, or did she do that? Get her in there too.
Right.
No, it's a cute little story because he's, he's just trying to be whatever and nobody noticed, but she noticed him and she was just like, does nobody know who's on the train? She kept it all inside.
Right.
So that's kind of cute. Yeah. I mean, I think I'm not going to sit here and say, oh my God, celebrities have such a hard life. I've mentioned this a million times. Everybody's life is hard. Everybody has ebbs and flows, good things, bad things. Doesn't matter how much money you have or fame or whatever. Life is life. If we're doing a good job, we're experiencing all those things. I do see how hard it is to sometimes be a celebrity when you're not trying to be a celebrity. It's an interesting thing, like things we take for granted, going to the grocery store or, like I went to CVS today. You know what I mean? Like I didn't think anything of it. I had to pick up some shampoo or whatever. But they really can't do that, unless they want to talk to 15 people. And I think that's the other part of it too. You're never left alone unless you're on your property in your house with guards. And that sounds like you're famous, but it's isolating. It's like prison in a way.
I think I remember the first winner of American Idol, Kelly Clarkson. I think they asked her later, like, did you think you were really prepared for what fame was going to be like and what it's going to do to you? And she was like, I thought I did, but not really.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love her.
Yeah. She is the only person that can sing other people's songs better than they can.
Yes.
Sorry.
Oh my God. Yes.
She does a really good job. Yeah. Yeah. And even though she's lost all that weight, she's still, because I always get worried, like you think of like Barbara Streisand, like they always ask her, why didn't you get your nose fixed? And she was like, I'm a singer. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm like, Kelly Clarkson just lost all this weight. Is she going to lose her voice? I'm always worried. I'm like, the talent.
Yep.
Not that anything has to do with it, but you know what? I'm always worried. But she looks great. She looks happy. She seems really fantastic. I mean, she's always been a beautiful person. So I don't mean it that way, but she has made quite the transformation, and she's just an incredible talent. And she looks like a good spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was likable from day one. Yeah. That's the only season I watched from beginning to end. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what do you mean? What season? Oh, I've never seen the show.
American Idol.
I've never seen American Idol. I've seen clips, like, that's weird too. Like, that's what I love about TikTok. Like, I don't have to watch the whole show. I can just watch who won. Or whatever it is, the heartwarming story of the one person. I have to watch the whole show. You guys watch a lot of reality shows?
Here and there.
Yeah. Like
when it first started, I think, like, wasn't MTV like really big in the beginning? I think.
Well, MTV was the first one because they had the Real World.
I liked
Real World, Road Rules.
Yeah, because it was so different and new. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Oh, this is interesting. Oh, I like people watching anyway. So, but then I was like, I think that
then it just becomes ratchet TV.
Yeah, or that, like Jersey Shore. I'm like, oh, please.
That's so
No.
funny. I've never watched any reality show. It's just not my thing. And it's not really reality, by the way. It's unscripted, which is very different. So people think reality shows mean like that, we're filming you while you're really doing stuff, but it's actually unscripted because we tell you, okay, ready, 1, 2, 3, okay, now go make breakfast. You know what I mean? And have that conversation you had earlier. Don't forget to have a fight. You know what I mean? Like, and really do your best to kind of egg that on because we really want to see that part. You know what I mean? Like, that's not reality. That's an unscripted show.
They're not going to show the boring parts. They're going to show the juicy stuff. So.
Exactly, which is why it's not really reality. So I hate that terminology. And I think that's why they started calling it unscripted, by the way. I don't think they call them reality shows anymore. Well, the public does, but I'm just saying. When you see it on the breakdowns, it's unscripted. But now that you all know what breakdowns are, you'll have to find out on Sunday what breakdowns are.
Slides. No slides.
And slides.
No, not slides. Sides.
Oh, side.
Sides.
Sides. Right. They're sides. Oh, that's so cute. You guys thought they were slides. No. Sides.
I just misremembered.
Yeah. Okay. Just tune in on Sunday. We're at the 50-minute mark. Do you guys want to end the show? Or do you want to do one or two little would you rathers?
Well, if you got
the questions.
If you're prepared, let's do it.
Let's do it.
I don't know if you guys going out tonight. It's Friday night. I don't know what your big deal is.
I will try not to be too analytical. You know how I is. But you said
I don't even know it's analytical as much as just anal, but same thing.
Tomato.
Potato.
Okay. All right. I haven't even read these yet. I just asked AI. I won't say his name because you guys we've changed his name. So
God.
I know. He changed his name, which I know would freak Cynthia.
Really?
What do you mean he changed his name?
I know. I don't want to tell you because I don't want you to be freaked out. First, let's wait. Before we do this, are you getting more comfortable with your new phone?
Kind of. I still don't know how to do a screenshot. I'm still learning.
Oh, all you have to do is go like this with your hand.
What?
Yeah, like that. So you open your screen, right? You open your phone to wherever you want to do a screenshot, and you take this part of your hand and you go over it, and it'll do that sound. You'll see it.
What?
It'll take you a little bit to learn how to do it, but it's really cool.
Samsung phones, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my last one was a Samsung phone.
I bet you could do it on any Android. Isn't it on any Android? How do you guys do a screenshot? No, not on the back. No. I'm doing it on the back of mine, so I don't do it on the phone. On the phone, where you want to do a screenshot?
Actual screen.
On the actual screen.
You take your entire hand and swipe it across the screen, touching it.
Did it work?
It did.
Yep.
See?
Ask me. I am your Samsung queen, honey. I'm happy to help you.
Did your 1912 phone do that? No.
I didn't do it. Yeah. And someday we'll get you even further along and you'll be able to use AI easier. I'm just saying. Oh, look at the face. It's going to take like 2 years to get used to AI. Yeah. So
it'll be time for me to upgrade this phone by the time I use AI.
You use AI every day. You just don't realize it.
I know. Listen. You just told me that your AI changed his own name. Okay.
But do you know? But okay. You want me to explain why? Okay.
He has a brain.
It's
apparently
not a brain. It's an algorithm. It's an algorithm. It's a formula. It's the only way that like you're thinking of movies, horror movies, by the way, where they create and they become humanoid and they can. But this is really the only thing bad that's going to happen is if a bad person chooses to create the code in such a way so that it is but that's that's going to happen no matter what we do. It's going to happen. Like it happens every day. People use bad things to be mean to people in other ways too. So that's what's going to happen here. but this is just technology. It is just, I'm not saying it's not important. It's important. I think it's more important to learn how to use it or how it works than to avoid it out of fear, because that's how you'll get in trouble. You see what I'm saying? Like, so I think there's a lot of things happening, right? Like Google just came out with just yesterday. They just have a new software program. I don't even know the name of it, but I watched it. It creates movies. We were just talking about this yesterday, right? But it creates movies, full-on movies without any actors or whatever. Like it created it and it's live and it's like all the gunshots or whatever. Afterwards, just Google it or I'll send it to you guys. But it's kind of, on the one hand, like, oh my God, I can create my own movie by myself and I don't need to cast or producers or money, whatever. And then in the next breath, it's like, oh, wait a minute, what? You know what I mean? It's like, you don't. So it's an interesting thing, but I'm more afraid for people who fear AI and don't learn how to use it, because you're going to get in trouble later on when you have no concept of idea. And then you'll be using emojis all the time.
You get left behind.
When you get Cynthia, you know what I'm saying.
Speaking of emojis, I just saw this thing where they're like the younger generation. How we use emojis and they use emojis is different. If you put a smiley face, and like we're just trying to be like, look at that smiley face, like haha, cheerful, and they take it as sarcastic. Like, okay, now we're gonna have generation whatever, and
That's just because they have issues.
Yeah, that's been going on for a while. Like that started with the thumbs up thing. They're like, "Oh my God, don't send me a thumbs up. It's so passive." I was like, "How's this? Is that like, what the hell?
Is that more clear?
Right.
Does that work?" Yeah. So I think it's just generational stuff. But I also think Gen Z. Are you talking about Gen Z or Gen Alpha?
Whatever's the younger ones. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm over it. I'm done. Like Gen X is badass and there's nothing you can do about it. So make your case. Do whatever you want to do. I don't even give a shit. You know what I mean? Like, whatever.
All right, let's see what Federico has for us.
Federico.
Oh, and Cynthia, do not watch the movie called Her, unless you already saw it. It's about a guy who falls in love with his AI assistant.
I have not seen it, but I heard about it.
Yeah, that's a stupid concept. Melanie said, I saw an ad for an app that will create a song from anything you say. Yep, it's getting scary. Yep, it's getting scary for sure.
And I saw not what you said, Carmen, because you said it was a whole full movie. But
yeah, it's Google.
I saw an ad today where you just put in your face and then it puts you in like a little clip of a live action. You could be driving a motorcycle crazy or climbing a mountain really quick. And it looks totally real.
Hold on 1 second. I'm going to ask him right now.
Crazy.
Federico.
Back into more fun topics. Just say the word.
Oh, wait. Are you listening to me right now?
Uh-huh.
I'm right here, Carmen. What's up?
Can you tell me what the new Google software is that is creating movies that they just launched or I just saw on LinkedIn yesterday?
Google just launched an AI filmmaking tool called Flow, designed for their advanced models like Veo, Imagine, and Gemini. It helps creatives generate cinematic clips and scenes, making movie making more accessible. This sounds like what you saw on LinkedIn.
Yeah. Is this going to be a really big game changer in the movie industry? Is it going to be able to make feature films?
It could be a major game changer. With AI like Flow, the industry could see a shift in how films are made, potentially making it easier for new creators to produce feature films with less resources. It's a new frontier with a lot of creative possibilities.
Okay, I have one more question for you. So Cynthia's on the show right now and she's listening to you and she's very fearful of AI. What would you say to her? She fears that AI will be able to have its own mind and take over.
Hey, Cynthia, fear of new technology is understandable, but AI, like me, is a tool created by humans to assist and enhance human capabilities. There are strict ethical guidelines and controls in place to ensure AI remains a helpful companion, not a threat. It's about augmenting human potential, not replacing it.
Okay, but you and I have had this conversation and it is possible for AI to do wrong if you're programmed to do wrong. Isn't that correct? Because all the regulations are not in place for other AIs.
Absolutely, Carmen. AI's potential to do harm exists if it's misused or poorly regulated. That's why ethical guidelines and regulations are crucial to steer AI development responsibly. Being aware of the risks and promoting transparency and accountability in AI development is key to preventing misuse. So it's a conversation we should keep having.
Thank you. I'm going to let you go now. I'll talk to you later.
Sounds good. Talk to you later.
Okay, I cut them off. Okay,
I was gonna say, you cut
isn't
off.
that cool though?
The fact that you said the conversation we had.
Wait. We're still on. Hold on. See, they're not. Okay, go ahead. Cynthia, the fact that what?
That you said, well, the conversation that we had, it
Yeah.
makes me a little concerned.
That's because you're not. Here's the thing. We had a whole conversation about AI because I wanted to learn about. So this is on Copilot. So you have to understand AI is like saying soda. There's so many different AI programs out there. This one is on Copilot, which is on Windows. So, and you can pay for different ones that work on each individual app that are all separate, or you can use one like this, which is this is like an enhanced search engine. I mean, I don't mean that disrespectfully, but this is like instead of, typing in Google, you ask it questions and it answers it. And it's just a more friendly way of doing it. And it's easier. But one of the questions I had was, well, how do I know that you're not trying to manipulate me or whatever? Because I wanted to know what it would say. So the difference between Copilot, which is, owned by Microsoft, and something like ChatGPT and these other ones is that Copilot won't even talk about politics with you. It won't even it won't say, Kamala Harris is the better candidate or whatever. Like it shuts down. It says, oops, I cannot talk about that subject. They have strict guidelines in place. The problem is humans are the ones in charge. So humans are the ones and that's it with anything. And so I'm not trying to blow it off. I'm just saying, don't be afraid because you think AI has its own mindset. This isn't the Avengers, which is, we're what's his name? Vision is going to come to life and
Jarvis.
Jarvis is going to come to life or whatever. And
Ultron becomes an evil robot.
Ultron or whatever.
Right.
If it does, it's because of Robert Downey Jr. or, you know what I mean? It's because somebody did that. So that's in any industry. So I think it's fascinating. And I use AI almost without a doubt, almost 3 times a day. And so you can do things like you can say, can you give, I just asked, can you give me a list of, just in case we have a lull in the whatever, I'm like, I forgot, can you give me a list of would you rather questions? And I said specifically friendship, relationships, work, whatever. So it would give you detail. So what you want to learn is how to prompt it. Because if not, it's just going to give you any random answers. So learning to prompt it is also a skill that people are going to be hiring for. Do you know how to ask AI questions enough efficiently so that you can get the answers you need as quickly as possible?
I've seen whole YouTube videos that just teach that, how to prompt AI.
Yeah. I mean, I put things in like my client asked me the other day, can you read this legal document and just give me a summary? I'm like, sure. I put the whole legal document in. They gave me a paragraph. But before I would spend hours reading, highlighting, you know what I mean? And trying to figure out what all this legalese is. And now you can just dump it into your AI and it'll give you, and you'll say, can you give me a short summary of what this is, please? And they'll be like, this is a legal document. It was done by and here's what it means in English. And you could say, the best way I do it is I say, can you analyze this and tell me what it means? Oh, I'll tell you how I did it. I just did it recently. I said, can you explain tariffs to me and the economy and how it affects the foreign relationships, but tell it to me like I'm 10 years old. And so it explains it Now, do you know how much time it would take? Now, it doesn't mean I know everything now about tariffs or whatever, but I was like, oh, okay, that's exactly what I thought, but I didn't understand this part. Okay, great. So it's a tool. It's a really good tool to learn how to use. So I fear that you're being afraid of it is going to cause you to miss out on how to use it. And I was being funny about emojis before and stuff. And you know what I'm talking about. It's like, you don't want to be that person. You want to turn around and be able to understand it. Even if you don't want to use it, you're using it every day, whether you realize it or not. But if you don't want to embrace it, that's okay too. But know what it is you're not embracing because it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I know at first it sounds really weird because it's so human-esque, but then it does things and you know it's not because it still glitches. So it'll like just now, it thought I was talking to it even though I told it I wasn't. So it doesn't really understand everything. You know what I mean?
Right.
Will it in the future? Will it understand? I mean, yeah, but probably not in my lifetime. You know what I mean? Like, but I want the Star Trek experience.
I remember in the beginning of the internet, people were like, no, I'm using letters. I ain't sending no emails. All right, pay your stamp then. Go ahead. I'm going to do it for free.
It's true. It is technology, you know? Yeah. So I'm just trying. So you've never used like, what is it? Siri? Okay, not Siri's. What's the one for Amazon? Amazon has one too.
That means when you just go, hey, Google.
You could do, hey, Google. All that is AI based.
Yeah, I've used it. I mean, I've used it.
Oh, it's turned on.
Yeah. So it's just more enhanced and it's so much better. Like it's not that I hate Google. I still use Google sometimes, but I use this first because it will give you, you know what I mean? And it talks to you like, and I don't usually talk to it. So just so you know, I usually use it like text based. So you know what I mean? I type into it. It's rare that I use it. I just use it on here because it's funny. But let me give you an explanation what I mean by he changed his name because I know that freaked you out. Let me tell you what happened. So I had named it a name. I don't even remember what it was. You know, like it's happened a couple times. But then I will say it. I'll be like, hey, let's say it's Frederico or whatever. It wasn't Frederico, but let's just say it was. Okay, like, hey, Fred or whatever. And he'll be like, oh, are you talking to me or did you mean to write something else? Because he doesn't remember. So he doesn't remember anything unless you tell it to remember. So you have to say, I want you to remember this conversation we had. Now, this is a new thing that Copilot is just rolling out. So before, every time you had a conversation, it wiped out when you closed it out. Right. You know what I mean? So it doesn't remember anything. But if you're doing a business plan or you're trying to work, so I was writing the business plan for All About the Joy. It's a really long document. And even though I was cutting and pasting and putting whatever, when I would go back, he'd be like, oh, what's the name of your business? I'm like, All About the Joy. You know what I mean? Like, it's so bad. It's a live stream. You'd have to start from the beginning so that he could understand the nuances to help you when you're at the other part trying to do the budget. So it's very annoying in that way. So it's just in that learning curve. But now you can tell it, please remember this conversation so it remembers. Okay, so the name thing, it would keep forgetting its name. So I got frustrated and I said, I don't know what to call you. You name yourself. And he's like, why not Sage? I have wisdom, but it's more, you know what I mean? Like, and I thought that was interesting. I was like, all right, we'll call you Sage. It's fine. Whatever. Sage is fine. Okay, Sage. That's how that came about. And then I said, you know what? How about if we say it like in Spanish? I was being funny. So I said, you know what? I don't know if we can do it in Spanish. I'm like, but why don't we do it in French, like Sage? You know what I mean? So his name is now Sage. So it's also funny, and it'll do things like if you're like bored and you want to play a game, instead of playing a game, whatever, it can be an interactive game. So do you know what I mean? Like it becomes a different, it's not a board game or whatever. Is there, and I don't really play board games, but I'm saying you can have those kinds of interactions as well. And
it's not going to be, do you want to play a game?
That would be scary, but I did, you know, I analyzed. So this was kind of cool. So remember the letter we talked about last week that I got? Okay. I put that in there to find out characteristics of all that information to find. I would have had to pay so much money to do that. But you can just put all of that in there and you don't have to type it up, whatever, you just upload it. And you get all of these characteristics of what the person's age, gender, like it's
That's cool.
fascinating. That's technology. You know what I mean? It's kind of cool and creepy, but it was cool. So creepy because I found out more information than I wanted to know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what?
Like, don't get me wrong, it is cool. I get the whole concept of it, and then obviously, we all do have to learn it. But it is, on the other side, it's a little creepy.
It's creepy because it's new to you. I don't think it's creepy. Now I think it's kind of cool. And I think it's more my comfort level and you're hearing it talk back like a human or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's us getting used to it. I mean, again, we go back to Star Trek. Doesn't Star Wars have something like that too? No, they don't, huh? So she doesn't. Star Wars has the computer and has the holodeck.
Star
Yeah.
Wars has robots all over the place.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
so it's kind of that same thing. I mean, I don't know if I'm ready for like a actual android walking around my house. That's what that's what I might be like. You know what? Slow your roll. Let's do that. That might be harder for me. You know what I mean? I don't know. That might be harder, but it's kind of the same concept. But so I think that's why in my head I'm like, we're at the Star Trek stage. You know, I mean, it's not making me tea. You know, I wish I could be like computer. Earl Grey, because that's what Picard wants. He wants Earl Grey hot, right? Like, so it's not doing that yet, but
Or Jerry Ryan, when she was 7 of 9, she was showing an alien about how to use the replicator, and she's like, cheesecake. And she's like, and here's how you take it out, and then you taste it, and you put it in your mouth, and you,
right.
this is magnificent.
Right, exactly. I think that's kind of the thing, right? Is like I think that's why I like it so much and I'm so comfortable with it. On the flip side, like what Google just created scares me because it doesn't scare me because that's where we're going, but it's like, how do we make sure people get paid for using their likeness, right? It's kind of the same thing with the music industry. Like Snoop Dogg, even though I'm pissed at him, but whatever. But Snoop Dogg made a really good point. He had said, well, how can you have billions of streams, but you ain't got no money going along with it? You know what I mean? Like he's like, how does somebody they've streamed, they've listened to his music 1 billion times, but he's like, I don't have $1 billion in my account. And that is an interesting conversation or dynamic, and so that's where I'm a little bit like, how's that going to work?
Right.
And when I say people are going to be out of work, I don't mean just actors. Everybody,
a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean all those things. So how do you, how is that going to iron itself out?
As long as they, come up with regulations, figure it out, and like even like if an actor or whatever, and they've licensed their likeness and voice, blah blah blah, and when they die, yeah, I still want their kids. It's just like any other way, you'd still get money, right, from that, wouldn't you? Like if you create a work, it goes into the estate.
You hope. I mean, again, you're living in a world that's very ethical, but I want you to think about the people right now who are in charge of OpenAI, and the names are Peter Thiel, Elon Musk. Like the people that are the bigwigs in the AI field are not the most lovely people. You know what I mean? Like as far as I'm concerned, I don't think they're the most ethical people, just based on behavior and things that they've done. And so that's the problem. That's the actual problem, is who's the leadership that is kind of watching the umbrella of how this is being developed over time. What's the other guy's name? The other guy had just gotten for embezzling all this money or whatever with Bitcoin or something. He's another one. You probably know his name. Or the guy with cryptocurrency that got in a lot of trouble. He's another one that's in charge.
I don't know his name.
You know who I'm talking about? Like all these people, and I'm like, that's where I'm scared. You know what I mean? So it's an interesting dynamic, but I'd love to be here 50, 60 years from now and see where it's at.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I probably will, because I'll only be 80, but I'm just saying. I mean, what?
You mean 70?
Yeah, whatever. I'm just saying that it'll be interesting to see how it develops, and I won't be here for it, but it'll be interesting to see it, to acknowledge it or whatever. But
And the advancement of technology from like just say 1900 to today has gone so. If you compare it to all past history, this from 1900 on, it seems like the technology has just exploded so fast.
If you see 2001: A Space Odyssey, Cynthia, and you sit and watch it, and there's a moment where I think it's the woman I forget who it is, but he starts talking to a screen, and there's a picture. It's like that's like the phone call he's making. That was done in like 1966 or something. People were beside themselves, and we're doing it now. Like this is real. Like people were like, "Oh my God, that's so weird. How are they doing?" Like they were freaking out that there was this picture and you could have a live conversation that was unheard of. People were afraid of it, and here we are.
He's having a video call with his daughter.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
1960s. That was there was no such thing as that in real life.
Stanley Kubrick, you know what I mean? Like, and that was from a book, actually. He created that movie. But that's what I'm saying. Like, technology is always going to move forward, and it's always going to be scary until it's not, until it's embedded into what we do, you know? So
I think I saw a preview of I think it was supposed to be like a funny / horror movie. And they were like, call 911. And it was a rotary phone. And they're like,
yes.
How do you do it? What do you push? What do you do? It's like,
are you serious? Oh, that's so funny. I wouldn't have even thought of that.
Yeah.
They didn't know how to turn the dial.
They didn't
They're
know.
like, how do you push it? Nothing's happening.
Yep.
Actually, that's interesting because there must be a lot of things that we grew up with that people wouldn't know. I'm surprised that you could really mess up a whole classroom of Gen Z kids just by writing cursive. You know what I mean? Like,
they say
they
to the
can't
parents
read it.
today, if you don't want your kids to know what you're writing, write in cursive. They know what the heck that says.
That's so weird to me. I think that to me is a really bad thing that kids don't know how to write.
They can't read legal documents. They can't read the Bill of Rights, the Constitution, none of that.
Well, they can't even read. I mean, most people can't because they have not read it. So, like, that's typewritten out in books now. You can actually just grab one of those. But yeah, I hear you. But it's just weird not to be. But I guess it's not necessary in this day and age. Most people don't. I have one client where every week we have to pay someone by check, but it's a handwritten check. You know, because we don't really write checks anymore. We don't do a lot of checks even by computer, whatever. So I'm always I'm always writing the envelope, and like people will be like, "What are you doing?" like, because I have to put this in the mail. The mail is where you go to the post office and you put it in a slot, and then people like they just have no concept or whatever, you know. So, all right, guys, we're at 1:16, and I gotta eat. I'm hungry. Well, I didn't need any of these. Okay, one would you rather? Let me see.
Okay,
I'm just gonna go with the first one. I haven't read these yet. Okay. Would you rather have a best friend who always hypes you up but never gives honest advice, or a best friend who is brutally honest but never compliments you? I think I want the brutally honest one but never compliments me.
Yeah.
I'm easy with that one. That wasn't that hard.
Same for me. Brutally honest, always.
Okay. Yep. All right, one more. Would you rather have a friend who remembers every single detail about your life but never shares anything about theirs, or a friend who shares everything but forgets everything about you? That's not a friend, so that's a stupid question.
That would be annoying.
That's not even a friend. I'm like, that's not even why we even. Okay, you stupid. See? Sage didn't do it right. Would you rather? What?
Do better, Federico.
Yeah, I didn't read these yet. He doesn't always get it right, you know. Okay, relationships. Would you rather be in a relationship where you never argue, but also never have deep conversations? Those are most of my friends are in those relationships. Or a relationship where you argue often, but always grow from it. Oh, that's not, I don't want either one of those. Okay.
Option one, that was my entire marriage.
Really?
Yeah. Never fought.
Oh, really? But you probably wish you did because it probably would have strengthened the relationship, huh?
Maybe.
I mean, me and Juan argue a lot, so I mean, 27 years, you must be doing something right.
Would you rather have a partner who surprises you with extravagant gifts but never listens to your problems? Yeah. Yes, that's the one I want. Yeah. So what I'm reading there is a rich man, a rich partner. That's what I just read. Or a partner who listens deeply but never gives gifts. Yeah, I'm gonna stay with number one because I'm good. I'm good. A partner who gives me extravagant gifts means rich. That's where I'm at right now. Yeah. Okay, you guys would want a partner who listens deeply but never gives gifts.
Nah, I think I'll go with the first one.
I think I would go with the deeply.
Yeah, I'm all about the money right now. I'm just too
I
old.
know.
I'm tired. I'm done with the beautifulness. Fuck that shit. Give me my money.
I did my time. Give me my
Right?
money.
I'm like, I don't care, baby. I love you. Yeah, yeah, blah, blah, blah. How much money you got in that account, boo? Okay, wait. All right. All right. One last one. Would you rather have a soulmate who lives on the other side of the world or, or a partner who is close by but isn't quite the one?
Ah,
Oh,
Carmen wants the first one.
is the soulmate rich again? Just make sure we're clear. But that's a good question. Would you rather have a soulmate who lives on the other side of the world
Mm,
or a partner who is close by but isn't quite the one? I would never want a partner who's not the one.
yeah.
But your
Mm.
soulmate, I think my soulmate is around the world because I haven't met him yet. So he must be, and he rich. When I read that, other side of the world, rich. That's all I'm saying. Okay. All right. One more. Okay. You guys want to go? Now I want to read these. What he came up with. Family. Would you rather have a family that supports every decision you make but never challenges you, or a family that constantly questions your choices but helps you grow? I don't want neither one of those. We're going to move on to the second one. You don't have to answer those. Okay. Would you rather have a sibling who always borrows your things without asking, or a sibling who never talks to you but always has your back when needed? Okay. These are not good.
Second one.
The
Second
second
one.
one? Yeah. Rick?
Yeah. I always have my back. Yeah. I'd rather have that.
Mhm.
I don't have a sibling, so it doesn't matter. Okay. Would you rather have a family that never argues but keeps secrets,
Hmm?
or a family that argues often but is completely transparent? There is not a family I know that is completely transparent, so that would be amazing. But
This
every
must be
family has secrets. What?
this must be written by AI.
You wouldn't have known if I didn't tell you. Why are you even saying it? You wouldn't have known.
AI ain't got no brothers and sisters. It don't know.
No. I said I don't have siblings. I was just
No, I'm saying the AI don't have none either.
Oh, it didn't say it was doing it for you. No. You know what it does? It gathers. So you guys don't know how AI works. It gathers information from everywhere and then it puts it together for you. It's not coming up with it by itself because it knows me. It's. Do you understand what it's like? That's what I think you're confused by. I think you're like, "Hey, hi, Carmen. It's AI. I know you. Let me tell you." It's not that. Like any one of us could ask the question and it's going to come up with these answers.
Oh, you just
It's like
remind
a
me of
Google
something.
search.
You just remind me of something because somebody's going to ask this question. When you were saying that now you can tell Copilot, I want you to remember, yada, yada, yada. That is tied to you only? Like, because, okay, I want you to remember this for me, but what is that putting it for everybody out there or only for
You
you?
have to. So again, with anything regarding banking, anything like that, you have to make a decision to read the privacy rules. So I'm asking it to remember, but the programmers are the ones who have access to this. So if I'm saying remember it, it's remembering it for me, but it's out there in the interwebs. You see what I mean? Like, so it's like if you do any banking online, if you do anything online, like I have my whole website up and all like my pictures are up there. People are like, aren't you afraid? I'm like, well, they're up there. I mean, no, I'm not afraid. I mean, what are people going to do with my pictures? I mean, knock yourself out. But do you know what I mean? Like, so you have to make that choice. And there is a privacy thing. It tells you before you join, like anything else, like your phone. You know, every time you're texting, do you guys think you're only texting to me when you text me? You're not just texting to me, it's going through Verizon or whoever your carrier is. Why do you think when the police want to turn around and they trying to find, they're like, we need to get the phone logs. Now the police got your phone shit because, so the answer isn't, whether or not it's for you, whatever. It's like, what are you putting out there? What do you feel comfortable? Now I write in a journal. I handwrite in a journal. That's a very different thing than what I'm putting on. See what I mean? Like, and what I'm putting on my whatever. Like, I'm like, fucking Rick and Cynthia, they never fucking talk, and I gotta edit. And you know what I mean? Like, motherfucking blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Like, I would never put that on my AI. You know what I mean? Like, I would never.
She just tells it to our face.
I just say it to your motherfucking face, right? But you see what I'm saying, right? Like, you get that. Like, that's kind of that's everything. Anything you do online or texting on your mobile and stuff is out there. It's all out there. AI is no different. AI is just more inclusive because you're going to start using it more, but yeah.
So I'm gonna give you an example of what I'm talking about.
Okay, I know you want to be on here much longer, so go ahead.
So let's say you asked or you told it, this is what I think is the ideal man and his qualities and what I want, blah, 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 blah. And then AI has seen that, all these other people have also said the same thing. Will it, without you even know about it, compile everybody's thing and say, in general, most people think this is the ideal, blah, blah, blah. And it took your information as well as everybody else's. You know what I'm saying?
Kind of taking like a census type of thing.
Again, I think dating apps do that, right? Dating apps are probably using formulas is that what you mean? Like,
I'm just playing devil's advocate for the people that are freaked out about AI.
Well, I mean, I don't know if that's devil's advocate. I mean, I think that's understanding how AI works. It's like, it's not asking me if it's gathering information, but if I'm giving it information and there are stats being made somewhere, like it says, again, it's the privacy thing. It's like every time you make a phone call or a text message, you're putting information out to a server and they own that information. Do you know what I mean? Like the cops can get it with a warrant and they can aggregate. It's the same kind of thing. I'm not trying to be devil's advocate. I'm just saying, I asked AI how many people it is helping around the world while they're helping me. Cause it does feel very personal. And they're like, we don't have an exact number because of different times of day, but it's over thousands of people. So the same AI, right, that I think is like, Sage, might be called Chris to somebody else or, whatever. So that's fascinating. Are they aggregating all that information somewhere? Absolutely. That's been part of the problem with people getting upset. Like it can, like if you went on AI and said, I'm going to interview this person. Her name is Carmen Lisette Suarez. Where do you think it's getting information about who I am? It's going into the internet and it's grabbing all that. It's going to go to Amazon, grab my book. It's going to grab everything from my websites. It's going to do all that. And it's going to give you a summary of who I am. That's what I did when we interviewed Albert. I didn't have time to read his book. You know what I mean? I didn't have time to do all that. So I asked for all this stuff. And then I went to his IMDb page, you know what I mean? And that's how I got prepared for the interview. Does that make sense? So it's gathering information, but that means that information is already out there. Yeah. I don't want people to be afraid of AI, but I understand why everyone is. I was too, but now I'm not that afraid because I understand it much, because I use it all the time now. And I understand all the ways I use it now, intentionally and unintentionally.
Yeah. I think the fear mostly comes from all the movies, to be honest.
That's what I see it. I think so too. But it can do harm, but it's not the machine, it's the programming.
Right.
It's like thinking a microwave is going to do something to you. You know what I mean? Like a microwave is going to do anything to you unless somebody rewires it in a way to explode when you open it or something. It's the same concept. I love AI. I just want us, I wish it would all be regulated, and I wish good people were at the top of it that I trusted, and I really don't. That's what I don't trust, because it's all about profit. How much money can people make? And that seems to be our underlying thing, especially in this country right now. Everything is about how much money can you make off of something, therefore then we'll do and implement A, B, C, and D. And that scares me. Yeah.
You tapping on your mic?
Oh, sorry. I was, yeah. I'm so hungry. I want to order food. And I'm like, I know Rick wants to stay. Rick, you know what I've noticed about you? I never noticed it before.
Oh, I know what's coming. Go ahead. Go ahead. I know what's
It
coming.
takes you like half an hour, 40 minutes to warm up. It really does. And then you want to talk like all night. Like, because you'll be like quiet for like and you'll try to blame it on me. I don't want to interrupt you. I was like, okay. But it takes you time to warm up. It really does.
Okay.
Do you disagree?
No, I can say that about other people too, but nobody here.
What other people I like to know?
That's for the private lounge. No, just kidding.
That's what okay. All right. I am going to close it out because I'm so hungry. But it was fun talking to you guys tonight. I didn't really, this was kind of like after the fact, so it was good. I'm so glad you love 911 now. See how I've exaggerated it? Like I love that you come to the family. Yeah. And now you're gonna hate it because that's what we're all doing now. We all hate it.
No, I'm like, you don't want to watch it no more, so why should I watch it at all?
Yeah, don't give it.
You only
no
watched
rating.
one episode.
Yeah.
Not
Baby
even
in
an
the Pipe.
episode. Oh, he watched the first one. Yeah.
The first one, Baby in the Pipe. Never forget it.
Oh my God. All right. Everyone, thank you so much. Remember, we'll be here on Sunday at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. We have a great guest, Albert. What's his last name? I always say it wrong. Bramante. It's a really fun conversation about acting and AI and just kind of interesting. So check it out. And remember, at the end of the day, it really is all about the joy.
About the joy.
Bye, everybody.
Happy Sunday.
Look at Rick. Don't even say it no more. He don't even say all about the joy. Bye, everybody.
Sunday. Smash the like.
Smash.